Hey again. So, insight number 4, and we're in section 108, and if you want to know about that one, go watch insight number 3 because we talked about it there. So we're going to go straight into verse 3. Now this is part of the life assessment and what you can do better and warning you and how to improve that. And what he said in verse 3 was really, really good. Applies to all of us, whether we've made one covenant or more covenants or looking to make covenants, right? He said, and it says in verse 3, and arise up and be more careful henceforth in observing your vows which ye have made and do make, and ye shall be blessed with exceeding great blessings. So are we careful with our covenants? Because it says there, arise up and be more careful from henceforth, right? Are we careful with your covenants? Do we take our covenant keeping casual sometimes? Sister Becky Craven gave an amazing talk on this. I should probably link that in, but the quote is from this about being careful or being too casual with your covenants. So, because you can be too casual and just take them so lightly, and we shouldn't. Do we pick and choose which covenants to keep, or when to keep them, or with who to keep them? Do we even fully understand what we have covenanted? I think that's a big one. For me, for years in primary, they'd talk about, I remember when you took your baptismal covenant and you promised stuff. I'm like, what? When? What? Because it wasn't really explained to me properly. I was happy to do it. Once it was explained to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good with that. But no one actually really did explain it properly or continued to explain it. They just kept saying, oh, your baptismal covenant. I was like, yeah, but what was that? What is that? And if you're wondering, oh, what is that? I never really thought about it. It's actually repeated every week in our sacrament prayers. It's about taking on the name of Christ and, doing the best you can. And it's a very basic little thing, but it's being a representative of Christ and learning to live like him. So, yeah, of course, that's what I want to do. But should have explained that to me, right? So I didn't really fully understand until I was about 12. And that's 4 years from when I was 8. So, we can do better with understanding what we have covenanted, especially those of us that have been to the temple and covenanted in the temple. We can go through those, in our head outside of the temple, or we go into the temple and go more often, so we're familiar with those covenants and we can really look again, part of that life assessment, could we be doing better? Could we be improving on those things? Keeping covenants as a wise steward, of course, come with promised blessings, but greater than this, it guides our choices, it helps resist temptation, and it helps bring peace into our lives. So yes, the promised blessings are there, but probably part of the promised blessings are there, but greater than just like, when you think of promised blessings, people think of just like stuff, I think. Some of those promised blessings, they're not going to maybe look like what you think they're going to look like, but it helps guide your choices, helps you resist temptation, and helps bring peace into your life. That's just what it does. So are you careful with your covenants? Could you be more careful? Could you be more educated about them? Are you picking and choosing when or with who or how to keep them? Think about that. And could you improve? Because I'm sure we all could. I definitely could. Okay. So the quote I've got, and I don't know if I can link the talk on Instagram, but I will definitely link the talk on Facebook or put it up. So, have a look there. All right. And she said, I invite each of us to seek the guidance of the Holy Ghost, to know what adjustments we need to make in our lives to be more carefully aligned with our covenants. So it's about having that Holy Ghost companionship with us so we can be more carefully aligned with our covenants. Because we're not going to be perfect with those things. And that's what I was talking about in the last one. It's okay if we fail. The Lord's all right with that. He's got that part. It's been taking that rest in the Lord. But we still need to make concerted effort. And if we can be more carefully aligned with our covenants and our choices, it's just better. And just make those little adjustments. They don't need to be huge. Sometimes they are. But more often, as we first said in the first one, it's those little things. President Hinckley said, it's those little adjustments that make the difference, that change the course of our path. Okay, so we're going to go look at verse 7. Verse 7 links up with 3rd Nephi and Matthew 5. So it's kind of cool. I'll see you there for that one. Alrighty.